just a bit outside.
Today's story is War of a Sick Man. Now, war has always involved some psychological warfare. It's always about getting the advantage over your enemy. If you look at Alexander the Great, what he used to do is he would leave behind for his enemies to find pieces of armor that would fit a man that was at least 7 or 8 feet tall. He did it because he wanted to throw fear into his enemies. They'd find this armor and think, oh my gosh, what are we about to fight? I did it on Footprints in American History. I did a video called Psychological Warfare, which was where the Confederates used to fly a black American flag, and it was to let them know, we're not going to take prisoners and you're going to have to kill us to the last man. It was psychological warfare. Well, during World War II, the British had a brilliant idea of how to fight the Germans. So what they were doing was they were taking little matchbooks and they were putting on their instructions on how to fake sickness. Now you got to remember, during wartime, soldiers don't want to be out there on the battlefield. You're watching your friends get blown to bits, you're watching people get wounded, you're seeing your best friend possibly get killed, and you're scared for your life. You don't want a tank coming at you, you don't want a machine gun coming with bullets coming your way, so it is a really scary thought. Think about how you'd much rather be home with loved ones, sleeping in a nice comfortable bed. So the British knew this, and it was the same with on our side also. So they began dropping these matchbooks from the air over enemy lines that were basically giving instructions to the Nazis of how to fake an illness to get out of the war. Now there was actually 2 purposes of this. One, it was getting soldiers to fake sickness. So what's happening is that they don't want to be there. It's making them do anything to try to get out of the war. That's going to reduce the numbers of soldiers available. But also they did it because they wanted to make the leaders paranoid. Now think about it. If you have a sick kid that's saying, I don't want to go to school, the kid is faking being sick, what are you going to do? You're going to tell them to go to school, right? So what they were doing was they were telling the kid, they were telling these soldiers a lot of times that started faking sickness. They didn't know who was sick and who wasn't. They just knew that this was going to be a decision had to be made. And so a lot of times what they were going to do was they were sending actual sick soldiers out into battle. And on top of that, not only was that devastating because you have a sick soldier who's not going to be able to fight effectively, but in addition to that, you're also spreading disease throughout the ranks of the Nazis. I just wanted to read to you real quick. This is from pearlharbor.org, one of the sites I found this information from. And I'm going to just kind of read to you what he wrote. This is from, according to Sergeant Major Herbert A. Friedman, the instructions could be as specific as to induce artificial skin inflammation, take 3 times daily 1 teaspoon of a 10% solution of iodine potassium in a glass of water until a scarlet-like affection of the skin results. Iodine potassium is a completely harmless medicine. To simulate a heart condition, smoke 20 to 30 cigarettes a day. But if you normally smoke as much, then you might want to double that number. That's 60 cigarettes in one day. Take 4 Digitalis tablets daily for 1 or 2 weeks. Report to the doctor with the following complaints. You do not feel well and are short of breath after exertions. Occasionally, you have attacks of pain in the heart region. There was cold sweat on your forehead during the attack, and you had a feeling as though you were going to die. So here they are. You have a commander in charge of these soldiers. They don't know who is being sick for real. They don't know who's faking it. So now what they're having to do is they're having to send these men into battle facing these conditions, and some of these people are actually sick, some of them aren't. Meanwhile, you've got disease going through the ranks, and you have a bunch of paranoid leaders on the German side. Completely brilliant idea on the British. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please like and share the video, give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell if you want future notifications for future videos. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching.
Just a bit outside.